Tiger and the Haunted Library. It was a chilly autumn evening in Pawsville, and the town's library stood shrouded in mist. The old building, with its towering spires and creaking wooden doors, had always been a source of fascination and mystery. Rumour had it that the library was haunted, and strange things were said to happen after dark. But Tiger, the detective terrier, was not one to shy away from a challenge. Tiger, a tan-coloured Irish terrier with long legs and a sharp mind, was determined to uncover the truth. His best friends, Harry the hamster and Bobby the bunny, were less enthusiastic. "Are you sure this is a good idea?" Harry asked, clutching his flashlight. Bobby, munching on a carrot, frowned. "Yeah, Tiger, what if the ghosts are real?" Tiger grinned, adjusting his detective hat. "There's no such thing as ghosts. Besides, don't you want to find out what's really going on? It'll be an adventure." With some hesitation, Harry and Bobby agreed, and they made their way to the library just as the last rays of sunlight disappeared. The librarian, Mrs. Owl, greeted them at the door. "Oh, Tiger, you're here to investigate, aren't you?" she asked, her feathers fluffed up with worry. "That's right, Mrs. Owl," Tiger replied. "Can you tell us what's been happening?" Mrs. Owl adjusted her spectacles. "Books have been flying off the shelves, lights flicker on and off, and sometimes you can hear whispers when no one's around. It's frightening the readers away." Tiger nodded. "Don't worry, we'll get to the bottom of this." The library was quiet as they stepped inside, the air filled with the faint scent of old paper and ink. Rows of towering bookshelves stretched into the shadows, and the soft glow of reading lamps barely pierced the dimness. Tiger's sharp eyes scanned the room. "Let's split up and look for clues. Bobby, check the reading area. Harry, you take the reference section. I'll explore the archives." Reluctantly, Harry and Bobby agreed, and the three friends went their separate ways. Tiger padded silently through the archives, his flashlight casting a narrow beam of light. The air felt colder here, and the silence was eerie. Suddenly, a loud thud echoed through the room. Tiger's ears perked up, and he hurried toward the sound. In the reading area, Bobby had found something unusual. A stack of books lay scattered on the floor, as if someone had pushed them over. "Tiger!" Bobby called, his voice trembling. "I think I found something." Tiger arrived moments later, examining the fallen books. No dust on these," he muttered. "That means they were moved recently." Meanwhile, Harry was in the reference section, nervously shining his flashlight on the shelves. He noticed something strange, a faint trail of white powder leading toward a nearby staircase. "Tiger, over here!" Harry shouted. Tiger and Bobby joined Harry, and the three followed the powder trail up the creaky staircase. At the top, they found a small door marked Restricted Section. The door was slightly ajar, and a faint light flickered inside. "Be careful," Tiger whispered, pushing the door open. The room was filled with ancient books and scrolls, and in the center stood a glowing orb. Around the orb, books floated eerily in the air. Bobby gasped. "What is that?" Tiger's eyes narrowed. "It looks like someone set up some sort of device. Let's take a closer look." As they approached, the orb began to hum, and the floating books swirled faster. Suddenly, a shadowy figure darted from behind a bookshelf. "Stop right there!" Tiger barked. The figure froze. It was a raccoon, his eyes wide with surprise. I can explain," he stammered. Tiger tilted his head. "Go on, then." The raccoon sighed. "My name is Ricky, and I'm an inventor. I've been testing my new invention, the Book Sorter 3000. It's supposed to organize books automatically, but it's been acting up and causing chaos. I didn't mean to scare anyone." Tiger examined the glowing orb. "Your invention is impressive, but it's also dangerous. You should have asked for permission before testing it here." Ricky nodded sheepishly. "You're right. I'll shut it down and clean up the mess." As Ricky deactivated the orb, the floating books gently settled back onto the shelves. The library's eerie atmosphere lifted, and the room felt warm and inviting again. Mrs. Owl appeared at the doorway, looking relieved. "Thank you, Tiger. You've solved the mystery and saved the library." Tiger smiled. All in a day's work. Let's make sure Ricky gets some help with his invention so this doesn't happen again. Later that evening, as they walked home under the starry sky, Bobby sighed with relief. I'm glad it wasn't ghosts, Harry nodded. But it was still pretty spooky, Tiger chuckled. Every mystery has an explanation, and with teamwork, we'll always find it. As they reached Pawsville, the lights of the town twinkling in the distance, the friends knew they'd always remember their adventure in the haunted library.